Hey you, thank you so much for tuning back in, and we are back with another video. So today I wanted to talk about, let's see, one, two, three. Let's talk about four things that can occur to your breast when you breastfeed. So let's get into it. All right, so number one thing that I didn't know that I learned when I started breastfeeding is that when your child cries, because when they're a baby, they're crying because they're hungry or unhappy, or you need to change them, something's going on, or they need to be rocked, your breast may leak. And that's basically a biological response your body is having to your baby, like something's wrong, we need milk, and your body will start producing milk, and sometimes it will leak out of your breast. So that is one thing that I did not know, because I was like, what the heck is going on? And okay. Number two thing that may happen when you breastfeed, that I didn't know until I started breastfeeding, is that typically all women have one boob that may produce more milk than the other. Just like in general, most women, they have a breast that may be bigger than the other. Same thing with breastfeeding. One may produce more milk than the other. So, and it's not abnormal. So if you realize that, or if you're planning on breastfeeding, just know that it could happen. Doesn't necessarily mean it will, but it definitely happened to me. My left breast creates more milk than my right breast. So, yeah. Number three thing that I learned about breastfeeding is that if you do not eliminate the milk out of your breast, which means if you're not feeding your baby or if you're not pumping enough, like getting out the residual here, that you can get a clog. So a clogged milk duct in your breast, that is actually something that you can get. Now there's a bunch of different things that you can use to help alleviate that. There's lecithin tablets. I have those. You can do warm, sometimes you can do cold, sometimes just doing massages, sometimes some type of vibration. If you have like an electric toothbrush or, an adult toy, you could put that on there and it'll help vibrate and break up the milk. Ways to definitely avoid that is definitely eliminating milk, and then just being careful with your diet here. Because sometimes if you do a lot of foods that are fatty, then it makes your milk really, really sticky and fatty, and it makes it hard for it to come out of your breast when you're breastfeeding. So definitely remember that. All right, and number four thing that I learned, which may or may not happen to you if you choose to breastfeed, but if you do not eliminate your milk in a good enough time, depending on what stage you're at, how old your kid is, how much they're drinking, like if they're a newborn, if they're not drinking like every 2 to 3 hours or something like that, when your breasts fill up, you could actually get a headache. Now, somebody told me this. One of my coworkers was like, yeah, if you don't pump or, breastfeed the baby enough, you could get a headache. And I was like, girl, bad. Like, I'm just, I'm sensitive because I get headaches, like if I don't eat enough or if I don't get enough sleep. I'm prone to migraines also. So I was like, girl, whatever. Then one day I was at work and I didn't pump for like 4 hours, and I was like, why do I have a headache? And she was like, did you pump yet? And I was like, no. She's like, you need to go pump. And I was like, oh, so I could get a headache if I don't pump? And I haven't even looked that up, you guys, to see why, but it definitely happens to me. So that is something that could occur to you, that if you don't eliminate your milk in a decent amount of time, your body may give you different cues other than engorgement being like super full and like hard and hurting. You could get a headache. So just wanted to give you guys four things that could happen to you if you decide to breastfeed, and stuff that I learned when I started breastfeeding that nobody told me about. So yeah. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful week.